Hi guys, welcome back. This is the part 5 of the Sansui restoration project. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through a repair work I've done in the preamp section. The problem is kind of a distorted sound or the shot noise, which I recorded by the way, so you guys can listen and see what I'm talking about. But before diving into this, let me quickly tell you how all started, right? So if you remember, if you're following from the beginning of this project, in the part 4, I replaced capacitors and replaced some of the transistors. After that, I started listening to it regularly, 2 to 3 hours a day, right? So everything was okay for a couple of weeks. And then suddenly I could hear this kind of noise starting to build up. At the beginning, it was faded. When you play music, you could hardly hear it. But over time, it got worse, and then it became louder and louder, right? So now, if you go back to the design of this amp, so the preamp section made of separate modules, right? So for bass, treble, mid-range, and filters, right? So initially, the issue was isolated at the tone control only. It was only happening if you turn on the tone control, on, right? If you leave it off, then it's fine. So I knew it has to do some of these modules, right? So, but sadly, after a while, it's starting to replicate, and I could hear the noise at any stage, right? Whether you turn on or off the tone control, right? But let's play the recording so you know what I'm talking about. Okay. So turn off. This is filters only. Just a little bit of hiss there, but nothing major. Everything's off. Yeah. Off. On. Off. On. This type of noise is usually produced when the transistors goes bad, right? So and sadly, you have plenty of them, especially in the preamp section, right? So so my plan is to work on the buffer amp section, basically to replace these dual transistor packs, and obviously recap while I'm there, and then because there's not many there anyway, and then put the module back, power it on, and test it and see if the issue has fixed. Okay, if that's the case, then I would move into the other modules and do the same, right? So let's do it. All right, then you have two options. Option 1 is to remove the faceplate and the front panel. Then you have full access and freedom to work on these modules. But trust me, it's a pain in the backside to put back everything once you've done. Option 2 is the easiest way, in my opinion, just taking the modules out, which is what I'm going to do now. Okay, before we start anything, I have to remove this module, the EQ board or the phono preamp, because the buffer amp board sits just below and has this connector, which has to be removed before taking the board out, right? And then remove the filter board from underneath. This one is easier, but make sure to mark your cables before removing them, right? So I start replacing these caps. For them, I'm using Panasonic FC series, and for these bipolar ones, I'm using Nichikan UES series. Hope is big enough to see in the picture. One of the lead of this bipolar capacitors is attached to the resistor. So what I'm doing here is checking the resistors value, right? If they check good, I'm going to leave them in place, right? They must have revised the design, and obviously the board is not designed for that. Resistors check good, so I'm gonna leave them in place, right? Now the recap is done, let's focus on the transistors. We have 4 in total, 2SA978 and 2SC1313, right? Let's start with the 2SC1313. The replacement is the KSC 1845, which is the best substitute available today as far as I'm aware. But be mindful of the pin order. The pin order is different between KSC 1845 and the 2SC1313. Basically, if the original one facing this way, the new one should go an opposite direction, right? I went more in detail in part 4 of this series. Here come the big boy. Look at that. I'm pretty sure the distortion is caused by one of these, or could be both actually. You never know. They really have bad reputation, right? This is the replacement. Actually, it's a pair of KSA992. Hopefully, it should do the trick. The original 2SA798 are obsolete and hard to find the genuine ones these days. But either way, they are almost 50 years old now. I'd rather use these new replacements. By the way, if you're interested on how to make these, I did a step-by-step video on how to replace these 2SA798. You can watch that video. I'll also put a link in the description. Okay, I have some good news, guys. Sadly, I don't have the recording, but after replacing these caps and transistors, as I said before, I put everything back and tested to see if the distortion has gone. The shot noise has gone. However, if you turn the tone control, you can still hear the noise. That's fine, because I did not touch any of the bass or treble or mid-range boards, right? So, which is expected. So now I can apply the same treatment for the rest of the preamp. I'm taking out the buffer module again, as it has to come out first. And you have these screws. More importantly, take your time, do not rush here. There's a lot of wires. Here you are. This is the bass and treble module. So these bipolar caps are 1 microfarad at 50, right? Not at 47 microfarad at 6.3, as on the service manual. Not sure if this was a printing mistake or they have revised their design later in the later models, right? But anyway, I'm gonna use this Vima 1 at 63 to replace those. And for the gray ones, I'm using Nishikon 3.3 at 50, right? Next step, replace these transistors. You have 4 in total, 2 2SA798 and 2 2SE1708. It's going to be the same treatment I did for the buffer amp module. I'm using the same transistors. Quick word on these guys. Before I made these, I tested their gain or their HFE range and picked the ones only with the very close range, if not almost the same value, right? So to make sure that we have a matched pairs, right? Regarding 2SA978, don't know if they are bad, because I'm replacing 798 with KSA992s, and the complementary version for the 992 is 1845, right? So I'm also replacing 1708 with 1845 because it's a hassle to take this board out and put back again, you know. So I'm going to replace it, right? Okay, we're running into a small issue here. Since the emitter leads sit on top of each other, I have to now increase the whole diameter of the circuit board. You can use a small hand drill like this. It's great for this type of job. Should be good enough. Let's give it a try. Nice, straight in. Almost there. 2 more transistors to go. Remember the pin order thing we discussed while we replaced 2SC1313? Well, the 2SC1708 has the same pin order, so the KSC1845 should go in opposite direction. Moving to the mid-range board now. It has the same parts as on the bass and treble board. Again, we don't have that 47 microfarad capacitor as indicated on the service manual, but instead of you have the one at 50. So nothing exciting. I'll do that off camera, right? Here you are. Nice and shiny. All done. So we have one more stop, which is the filter board. Not going to do much on this board, by the way, apart from replacing these two caps. I'm not going to touch 2SA847. As far as I'm aware, they are not troublemakers. And there are also two 2SE1708, which I think I'm going to leave it for now. If I need, I can always come back. This one is easier to come out anyway. Okay, it's assembly time now. Let's put everything back in place. Since the mid-range board came last, so it'll be first to go. Here you go. Not too bad. Right, that's in place. Here comes the troublemaker. Let's see. It'll be more challenging for sure with all these cables and stuff. You wish you have more hands. Need a bit of patience. Almost there. Okay. Actually, it's easier than I thought. I'm not gonna complain. All done. I put everything back in place. Now it's testing time. Just checking if I didn't do any mistakes. Here you are. All good. I'm pleased with that. Right then, that's it guys for this video. In the next video, I'm finalizing driver board, mainly replacing some of these pre-drivers and the bias and DC offset potentiometers, right? So please stay tuned. Hope this was useful again. As always, please like and subscribe, and until then, take care, and I'll see you later.